Good morning, everybody. Well, good morning, everyone who's joining us from the UK and this side of the world. And yeah, today for our Wednesday webinar session, we're going to be hearing about the beautiful Amilla, Maldives. And we're joined today by Fawaz, who's the Sales and Marketing Director at Amilla. And we're going to have a nice little video first and then go into the presentation. And yeah, as I'm sure a lot of you read in the newsletter, we have a very special agent incentive for those who are watching the webinar. But I'll let Fawaz explain that in a second. But yeah, throughout the webinar, please do feel free to ask questions and I'll ask them to Fawaz at the end. But yeah, I'll hand over to you now, Fawaz, to explain everything about the incentive.
Thank you, Olivia, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you're all joining from, but it's the afternoon for me here. So just wanted to say thank you for taking time to come on board and do attending this webinar that's been kindly organized by Hummingbird for us. As Olivia mentioned, we've got an agent incentive for all the participants that's joining the call as well. So in the next 2 months until the 31st of May, the first person that is able to book 15 room nights at Amilla for the rest of the year or even for next year is in line to win a 4-night stay voucher at Amilla. So we've got all the details and the vouchers with Olivia as well. So once that mark is hit, she will be able to reach out because we've got all the details of everyone who's attending, given that the call is being recorded and everything as well. So good luck to all of you. Hopefully you'll get a bit of more insight into what Amilla is all about and why your client should be choosing Amilla instead of the other options that's out there in the Maldives as well. So we'll start off with our brand video first, and then we'll move on to our presentation. And as Olivia mentioned, the questions will be after we finish up as well. So here we go. I'll just play our video through and then we'll move on to the presentation. So enjoy.
Oh yes, for those who's just asked a question, unfortunately we couldn't get the sound to come through. So yeah, it's not your sound problem. It's just that we didn't have the music on that video.
Yeah, sorry for the lack of audio. I guess I was the only one to be able to hear the audio itself, but Olivia will be able to share the link with you as well to the access to the video and the presentation itself at the end as well. So that was a little sneak peek at Amilla. So we'll start off the presentation. So Amilla is actually part of the SLH, Small Luxury Hotels Consider It collection. So we are located in Baa Atoll, which is very close to Hanifara Bay. Those who are familiar with the Maldives and Baa Atoll, you know that it's a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. This is something that was declared by UNESCO in 2011, so we're only about 10 minutes away. In terms of transfers, we have an option for seaplane, also for domestic. Seaplane is around 30 to 35 minutes for a direct flight from the airport to reach us at Amilla. We do have a dedicated lounge at the seaplane terminal as well, which can be utilized for clients leaving on late departure flights as well. So for example, if your flight's around 11 o'clock or so, if you take this last seaplane from the island until the checking opens, you'll be able to relax and enjoy the luxury of our lounge at the seaplane terminal. We've got 67 keys and it is split between from 1 bedrooms all the way up until 8 bedrooms as well. So we'll have a look through the options available in terms of inventory throughout the presentation. 5 restaurants, 2 bars, and one of the most important things that we've seen since the pandemic especially is, the importance of well-being and personal preferences, especially when it comes to our dietary, requirements or personal choices. We do have a great program called our Dietary Lifestyle Choices, which is displayed throughout all of our restaurants as well. So we'll cover that towards the food and beverage part of the presentation as well. And lastly, one of our key ethoses at Amilla is well-being, sustainability, and inclusivity as well. So we'll cover all of these aspects throughout in the next 20 minutes or so. So if we go on, to start off, we saw the island, during the video as well. It's a large natural tropical island, which is around 1.5 kilometers in length, and surrounded by luscious beach and great vegetation all across as well. And given we've been open coming up to 10 years as well, it's very well developed when it comes to the vegetation. And with the size of the island, it comes with a lot of key points for customers, guests that staying with us. With 27 hectares covering our island, you've got a lot of space to play. We've got space in abundance with different areas that we've curated for different types of clientele as well. You will see at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side our jungle gym as well. So this is one of these areas that you can find on the island. At the start, I touched upon the location being in Baa Atoll, next to Hanifara Bay, which is a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve as well. In terms of sustainability, there's a few things that we're doing. Starting off with, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, which is one of our tropical long-tailed birds that we find on the island. So these are nesting on the other island as well, and we've got at any given time more than 15 nesting sites on the island, and our sustainability manager is monitoring and recording all this data as well. And since this is something endangered in the Maldives as well, we're trying to make sure that we look after this for the future generations as well. It's quite fun because these are birds that nest on the ground, so they're not nesting up in trees or anything like that. Luckily for us, we don't necessarily have a lot of predators, or if any, so the nests and the little ones are safe. So this is something we incorporate into our daily or weekly activities as well. So those who are interested are able to go on a bird walk tour and learn a little bit more about the conservation efforts that we do as well. We are locally owned and so independent and locally owned, which is something that we are very proud of as well. Our island, again, coming from the size of the island as well, we've got areas that we've been able to develop, organic gardens. There's coconut and banana gardens throughout, and we do a bit of hydroponics as well in terms of, a bit of green and veg as well that we are able to utilize to a certain extent in our cuisine throughout the island as well. And it's very family friendly as well. At the start, out of 67 units that we have on the island, we do have 2 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms, and 8 bedrooms across as well. And one of the newest programs that we've been trying to champion throughout the Maldives, I think Amilla is one of the first as well, is to be inclusive and accessible for everyone. Maldives doesn't necessarily need to be a holiday for a certain demographic of people or able-bodied people, so that even if you have any disabilities or any accessibility hindrances, that this is something that you're able to come and enjoy in the Maldives as well, which we'll cover right at the end of the presentation. So this is just an overview of the island. So the map, we've got a great house reef at the top left-hand corner of the map as well. So this is where all of our reef water pool villas are located. And just below that, we do have our own underwater cave system, which is our blue hole. And we do have regular weekly complimentary excursions that both go all the way over to the blue hole or onto our house reef as well. So we'll go through again the space to play. This is the jetty coming onto our lagoon and reef water pool villas. So we'll start off in terms of our room types at our Sunset Water Pool Villa. We've got 10 of these units, all of the units. This is ideally, you know, for honeymooners or for couples that's coming over and enjoying their time at Amilla. You can see that it's very Instagram friendly, which is something yeah, nowadays important to a certain demographic of clientele as well, with the sunset views as well as the infinity pool overlooking the lagoon, as well as the hammock that's you know, located in the lagoon itself as well. So we've got 10 of these units as well, and as I mentioned, this is our lead-in room. And then we move on to a lagoon water pool villa. This and the reef water pool villa are exactly the same room type. It's just the location that's different. One is facing our lagoon, and the other is literally on the doorstep of our house reef. So in the lagoon water pool villas and the reef water pool villas, we've got a dedicated living space and a separated bedroom as well. So if you're traveling with smaller children, this is ideal. Rather than taking a second 2-bedroom or a second room, we're able to accommodate 2 adults and 2 children quite easily, you know, with the spaciousness of the villa that we have. And in terms of a family benefit, 2 kids below 12 years old throughout the full contract until the end of the year is on complimentary full board basis, and it's not necessarily from the kids menu as well. They're able to dine from the adult menu as well. So this is a great family benefit that we've got throughout the year, including the festive season as well. We do have 2 units of 2-bedroom lagoon water pool villas as well, and it is connected from the outside as well. Maybe this option is good for families traveling with teenagers or a bit older children as well. So we move on to the reef water pool villa. You can see from the top left-hand corner of the slide here as well how close the villa is in terms of the house reef. You're literally on top, or if not, 1 meter or less than 2 meters away from the house reef itself. So those avid snorkelers, people wanting to go exploring the Maldivian, you know, marine life, this is the perfect room for those looking for their underwater holiday in the Maldives as well. So it's a great option. We've got 23 of these units as well. So it's the highest inventory that we have in terms of one room type as well. Then we move on to up in our tree line. So this is a very unique villa. Those who are familiar with Ubud or those who are familiar with Indonesia might be, you know, familiar with the look and feel of this villa as well. It's 8.5 meters above the ground, so it gives a very unique perspective, something that's not necessarily found in the Maldives. And it's a 2-bedroom as well. We've got 5 of those units, and with the island being so big and, you know, different spaces dedicated for beach areas and everything, all of the clients that's staying in these villas will have access to beach areas by the pool or throughout the island in different beaches that we have all across. So it's no issue when it comes to that as well. It's quite popular, especially during school holidays or during festive season when families are traveling, especially for the value for money that clients get and for repeaters that's coming into the destination of Maldives. Then we've got our beach pool villa. This is probably our most in-demand and most popular category. Very spacious. We're able to do up to 2 children as well on a case-by-case basis on, you know, on top of the 2 adults. And again, this is on the same area where the water villas are as well. So literally you're able to walk in from your beach and swim for maybe 2 meters or 3 meters and reach the house reef as well. So great, you know, option in terms of enjoying your beachfront as well as the lush vegetation that we saw from our overview photos as well and the video that is surrounding the villa and giving that cozy island feel as well. And again, in terms of a beach villa, we've got a 2-bedroom option, as mentioned, very ideal for families as well. And in these villas, we do also have 2 bunk beds in addition to the 2 twin beds in the 2nd bedroom. So easily able to accommodate 4 children on top of 2 adults as well. And that photo on the top right-hand corner, you're able to see the 2 bunk beds at the behind the 2 twin beds as well. Then we come into our residences. So this is something, which we're very proud of. And again, it gives a very homely, very, it feels like you're coming to your own home. This is the feel that we want to have for the clients as well. And we've got butler service or khatib service, as we say in Amilla, and throughout all the island. So for the residences, we have a dedicated khatib, and we've got additional added values as well. We've got one barbecue in your residence included for every 7-night stay as well. We've got a dedicated buggy along with your khatib for the residences, and we've got 6 of these 4-bedroom beach residences as well. And the good thing is all of the 6 units, so we've got 3 pairs that are interconnected, and the interconnecting is from inside the villa, so the downstairs living space, and we've got an upstairs living space as well, which are able to connect. And if clients are traveling in a big family, especially multi-generational families, we're able to offer this option of having 2 4-bedrooms interconnected, and you've got essentially a same residence mirrored on the other side as well. Then we've got our Amilla estate, which is our 6-bedroom beach residence as well. So in terms of the interior, it's a bit unique with the layout. We've got our own spa, our own gym in this villa as well. And lots of space outside as well. We've got space to set up a cinema, a volleyball court just outside, the swimming pool area as well. And for little ones traveling as well, you've got a dedicated games room in the Amilla estate as well. And in all of the residences and the estates, we've got PlayStation 5 set up in all of the living spaces as well for the kids to enjoy. Then we come across to have a great beach residence. So this is essentially 2 4-bedroom residences joined together without any interconnecting doors or without any walls in between the villas as well. It's a great option, again, as I mentioned earlier, for multi-gen families that are traveling together as well. So the space that it offers both inside and outside the living spaces, it's again like your own holiday home that you can enjoy while you're staying with Amilla as well. Then we come across to our food and beverage. I highlighted about our dietary lifestyle choices. So we've got 5 different restaurants across Amilla as well. And in all of these restaurants, you've got a different menu for, we've got a vegan and vegetarian menu. We've got a keto, paleo, or gluten-free menu. We've got a, low carb, and a lot of different options that's available as well. So I'll just try to open another slide if you're able to see this. So this is our this is the link to our online menus as well. So we've got an application for the property, and this is available both on Android as well as on iOS devices as well, on Apple. So before arrival, the clients are able to download it. You don't necessarily need to log in. You can explore the app without logging in as well. So it's a great tool for you as agents as well, because it's up to date in terms of all the activities, the events, the daily and weekly schedules that's happening as well. So all of the information in terms of the facilities as well as experiences that's available on the island is on the app as well. So what we're seeing here is the menus as well. So if I click through to Feeling Koi, which is our Japanese restaurant as well. So you've got the normal dinner menu option, as well as a vegan, vegetarian, a low carb, keto, paleo menu, gluten-free, and a dairy-free menu as well. So rather than having those 1 or 2 options available in normal menus, we've gone away and moved away from this as well, because again, as I highlighted, the importance of eating and having your own choices that's come across over the last few years as well. And not to mention the dietary restrictions that some clients might have. So you've got a full menu that is dedicated towards your dietary preference as well, rather than having one or two options available. So just wanted to showcase and highlight this as well. And towards the end of the webinar, when we do Q&A, I'll be able to explain a little bit more about this if you have some more questions as well. So coming over to the options available, so we've got, Japanese, as we just saw, on the menus as well, and we've got Indian restaurant speciality, as well as a Italian speciality restaurant. So all of these have these dietary lifestyle choices available as well. And from half board onwards, we've got a dine around option, so you don't necessarily have to pick and choose which restaurant that you are able to enjoy. It's all the restaurants are included either from your half board and above as well, so even on full board, and of course on dine around inclusive as well. On your dine around inclusive plan, we do offer on a daily basis one meal to be taken in your villa. So one in-villa dining option is available on a daily basis. The minibar is included. So in your minibar, you've got options of two beers, meaning two different labels for beer, two different labels for wine, as well as one different label from a whiskey, a gin, or a vodka for spirits as well. And this is refilled on a regular basis. Again, lots of different options, varieties, choices for the clients, depending on the preference which they would like to have for their meal plan as well, from breakfast, half board, full board, or dine around, all inclusive. So we move over to our spa. We've got a jungle spa on the island, which we call Jambu Spa, with 8 different massage treatment rooms as well. And you can see on the top right-hand corner of slide our alchemy bar. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on is Maldives being a very predominant sun, sea, and sand destination where people are coming to enjoy, the natural richness that the destination has to offer. But there are some clients that are not necessarily the most avid fans of always being in the water. So we've got different options for them to enjoy, especially at the spa. In terms of wellness, we are doing classes, as making kombucha classes as well as lip balm, body balm making, or soap making. All of these classes are free to join for the clients to come and enjoy. And again, as I mentioned, all of these details are mentioned in our application as well. So the clients are able to do their research as well as yourself, prior to arriving on the island as well. And it makes it easier to give options with clients that are very particular in terms of, as mentioned before, if they're not the biggest fans of going snorkeling or diving, what other things are people able to do. So these are a few things that we've got available at our Jambu Spa. And we've got visiting practitioners coming throughout the whole year as well. We've got at the moment a martial arts specialist on the island as well, who's helping with clients who are intrigued and interested in exploring this pathway as well. So, and we've just got a Thai specialist coming in this month for April, who's focusing and whose speciality is singing bowl therapy. Coming over to wellness in terms of exercise and gym. So we've got 3 separate areas for clients or guests to come and enjoy. So we've got a separate gym for strength and cardio, and then we've got a jungle gym. Especially during the pandemic, the social distancing and being outside and having the space again, for to be in the natural environment, to breathe easy, and rather than being in a confined space. This is something that we've developed as well. And of course, it's something that's great for Instagram, again, for photos and everything. It feels like you are in the Flintstones era, given the location, as well as the, the devices and the machines that we've made at the Jungle Gym as well. Then we've come over to sustainability. This is our chicken farm on the island, which we call the Cluckingham Palace. So this is an area where we've got, for the little ones, again, for the kids to go and enjoy as well and to have a look around. Of course, we don't have the capacity to have enough eggs, to feed 300 staff and over 250 guests if you're running close to full capacity as well. But we're still able to utilize that and also, do away with some of our food wastage as well for the chicken farm. In addition to this, one of the new initiatives that we've started is we've started to buy fish from local fishermen from this atoll rather than purchase it from Malay as well. So empowering the local community and making sure that they are, they get their fair value for money as well, and educating them about sustainable fishing, meaning that you're not necessarily catching a certain size of a fish, if it's smaller, or which type of fish that we should be focusing on and everything. So giving them a guideline of sorts as well, that, this is what we are looking for, and if that's what's coming through, that we are more than happy to pay a premium as well. So giving more options for the local community, as well as protecting the fish stock for the future generations and moving forward as well. And as highlighted earlier at the start, we've got different areas where we've got, a banana plantation. We've got lots of coconuts throughout the island as well. And in addition, the hydroponic gardens that we've got throughout the island, as well as the chef's garden. So again, the size of the island or the space to play gives us a lot of, ability to come up with all of these different activities in different areas as well. In terms of experiences, we saw the local house reef, which is reachable straight from our reef water pool villa as well. So you've got to see just now some of our one of our resident turtles that's on, on our house reef that you're able to, if you're lucky enough to find, you can go and pop over and say hello. We've got a full size football pitch on the island, and on the 8th of April this month, we've got Teddy Sheringham, ex-Man United, ex-Tottenham Hotspur player, coming and conducting a football camp for kids and teenagers. So this is something that we run throughout the year as well, with different pros coming over and conducting camps as well. So we try to do it to pass the information in advance to our partners such as Hummingbird, so that you're able to know when clients are looking to book during, let's say, the Easter school holidays or during the July school holidays or so on, what type of different activities that we've got planned as well. We do have 2 tennis courts on the island, along with the tennis pro, and then you see an art studio on the top right-hand corner, some pool parties that we've done. Of course, nothing's complete in the Maldives if you don't do a sunset and a dolphin cruise. And then we've got local islands nearby as well that we do excursions to. The island that you can see here is called Kudarakilu, which is about 20 minutes away from Amilla, and it also houses a local museum. So you've got a bit of historical, bit of local knowledge and information that you're getting about the destination, about the Maldives as well. This is our kids club. So we've got a dedicated area, both indoor and outdoor at the kids club, so that they're able to play around. You see painting classes happening, as well as a paddle pool within the kids club as well. In terms of more education, programs as well, we've got a mini marine biologist program as well, so to teach the kids a little bit more about the environment in the Maldives and the uniqueness of the ecosystem that we have as well. In terms of vow renewals and symbolic weddings, we've got a dedicated area as well on the island, and we've got different wedding packages that, starting from a base one, as well as, with different add-ons as well that you're able to customize. Again, this is something that we've seen being more and more popular with the pandemic, because the delay in people getting married as well, and a lot of people want to come over to the Maldives to have a great backdrop for their wedding photography as well, which is something that we are able to do. Last but not least, we touched upon inclusivity and accessibility at Amilla. This is something that we're very proud of. We got recognized by Forbes Travel Guide as the Responsible Hospitality Partner of the Year. And some of the photos that you see here are some of the guests that visited us in Amilla over the last 6 to 8 months, and some of the innovations that we've made at Amilla. And from the top right hand corner, the ramp that you see that looks like a fish. So this is to the toilets in our bazaar, or our main area where our restaurants are as well. So the whole idea for us is to make it feel, as natural as possible, that it's not out of place, that it doesn't seem like, it's your accessibility ramp going into the bathroom or the accessibility room that you might be in as well. So to blend it in with the natural environment and to make it, unrecognizable, essentially, from the infrastructure that we have, that, this is something that we're doing for everyone so that they're able to come and enjoy as well. On the second photo that you can see is actually our pool lift. We've got a pool lift to lower some of the clients into our pool as well in the villas. We had a great initiative from one of our team members, because we had a client from the UK who was bound to a wheelchair, and he loved snorkeling. And this, he came to Amilla in December, and it was his third resort in the Maldives. He's been to 2 others, and he mentioned that he's never been able to go on a boat to go snorkeling. So one of our colleagues had the great idea that, what if we transferred our pool ramp into our snorkeling boat as well? And we were able to manage this, and the client was able to go out and explore the different reefs. He did snorkeling every single day until he left. So 4 more trips since we actually managed to make this device possible in our snorkeling boat as well. So again, to be able to give something back to clients as well, so that they're able to have their Maldivian holiday as well, to go into the water, to enjoy, and to to make the most of what the Maldives have got to offer. You've got some photos highlighting the slings that we're utilizing to take clients in and out of the seaplane, the wheelchair that is modified to go in the water, as well as to be movable on the beach as well. So this is some more detailed photos that I just wanted to highlight as well. So the bottom half in the first 3 photos is how a normal room would look in a 2-bedroom beach villas. We've got 2 dedicated rooms, which is a 2-bedroom beach pool villa and a reef pool villa that is modified to be, our accessible or our inclusive rooms as well. So in the middle photo that you're able to see, the wash basin. So you're able to see in the bottom photo that below the wash basin there is wooden covers as well. So if you're in a wheelchair, you're not able to wheel in and go underneath the sink. So what we've done in the other room is remove this area so that if you're in a wheelchair, you're still able to access the sink. And we've also moved the tap to the side as well, so you're able to reach easily as well. And the next photo is the minibar area, the cupboards that we have with the fridges and everything. So what we've done again is we've lowered the bench at the top, so that even if you're in a wheelchair, you're able to access it. If we are unable to recognize this, right? So if I didn't tell you, or if you went into one of these rooms and nobody explained to you how this is looking, you would not necessarily be able to tell the difference as well. And that's exactly what we want to have, so that people come in are able to enjoy their holiday rather than being, feeling that they are being differentiated, or they are, in a different type of room or modified room or so on as well. So this is something that we're very proud of in terms of our accessibility and inclusivity initiatives at Amilla. And the last photo is we had one client that came through who, the child that you can see in the photo, he's got a genetic disorder that makes him not able to have the normal growth that little kids have as well, which makes them a little bit shorter and heavier as well. So in terms of his legs, it's not as normally formed. So it's a bit difficult it was a little bit difficult for him to walk. So we managed to create this this bicycle with a carry area as well. So you can see him and his sisters as well, enjoying their time here as well. So they're able to move around freely and readily all across the island as well with the bicycle that we were able to modify for them. And that's all we have for Amilla. So part of the small luxury hotels consider collection, as I mentioned, and Amilla Maldives in harmony with purpose. Thank you so much for your time. Olivia, can we move on to the questions?
Thanks so much, Fawaz. Yes, we do have a question. I think someone might have missed the beginning about the incentive. Seems to be a hot topic, obviously. So yeah, would you mind just explaining again the stipulations of the incentive for those who've been watching the webinar today?
Okay, so we've got all the attendees, right? So I think we had over 30 people attend the webinar as well. So you've got all the details with Olivia. So anyone who's joined, and in the next 2 months, essentially, given that we're only on the 3rd day of April, before the end of May, the first person that makes a booking or bookings up to 15 room nights at Amilla, it can either be for 2024 or 2025, it will then be able to win a 4-night stay at Amilla. And this includes the seaplane transfers as well. So hopefully, with all the information that we've been able to cover today, I think it's a great option for either a honeymoon couple or, just a couple traveling, or for a big family, or multi-gen family as well. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone, on what we offer. As I mentioned, the app is a very useful device that we have as well. And with the dietary lifestyle choices that we've got on the island, covering all different areas in terms of if we've got any restrictions, or if it's a lifestyle choice as well, we're offering that throughout all of our dining venues, not necessarily restricting it to the bottom right hand corner of your menu where you've got vegetarian and vegan options in quite a lot of restaurants or places that all of us have frequented.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that was something because I went last year to Amilla, and I'm vegetarian, but I often find that it's quite difficult when you're looking at one menu that has loads of different choices, and then you're kind of having to go through them all and check like, oh, is that one got fish or is that one got meat? But yeah, I love that about Amilla, that you've got so many pages and they all kind of mirror the same. So like the full meat option has, you've got the same amount of options in the vegetarian section and the keto section.
It's just alternatives of the dishes that we've got on the main menu as well, that we've curated, in either the gluten-free or vegan vegetarian or the keto paleo as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and also the breakfast choices. I always get really excited at breakfast when you can have like healthy Nutella on, healthy pancakes, that kind of stuff. Makes you feel like you're doing something right.
Just up to date, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got one more question, which is about the big villas. So what's the maximum amount of people? You might have already mentioned this, I think, in the section, but just this person might have missed it. The maximum amount of people you could have in your biggest villa.
So that's also, when it comes to this, we're very flexible. So you've got a sticker price, or what's written on a piece of paper as well. And then in terms of what we're able to accommodate, because at the end of the day, it's about all of us being clear or transparent with each other, right? So we've got X number of bedrooms. Let's say we've got 8 bedrooms in our 8-bedroom villa. So essentially it's coming up to 16 packs, but we're able to put in extra beds into different villas as well. And in terms of how we are able to accommodate, given if the clients are okay, and we are able to communicate how the layout will be, how the setups will be, and if everyone agrees, there has always been exceptions that we've made as well. We had, I think in January, up to, in our 8-bedroom, we've had 22 packs or 24 packs even in the 8-bedroom as well, again with a mix of adults and children. So we're quite flexible when it comes to this, and at the end of the day, it's just being transparent what we're able to do and what the clients are able to, you know, say yes to as well when it comes to this. What we want to avoid when it comes to this is that when someone comes on the island, that they don't go back to, you know, whoever's been on the webinar and then come to Olivia and the team at Hummingbird, and then, you know, it's kind of the coconut, you know, line, and it comes back to us again and saying, this is not what we wanted and why is it like this? So we've always been very transparent when it comes to this. So what we are able to provide, it's not necessarily what's written on the contract, but if there is anything, you know, exceptions that we can make, not just in our 8-bedroom or 6-bedroom or 4-bedroom. When it comes to our 2-bedroom and 1-bedrooms as well, we are able to do this. For example, the options that we saw in the lagoon and the reef as well, right? So you've got a dedicated living space in these rooms. So 2 adults and 2 kids we're easily able to do. And there's cases that we've done, you know, 2 kids plus 1 teenager as well, so up to 5 people. So being transparent in terms of what we're able to do, how the setup will look, and if the clients are okay, we're quite flexible when it comes to this.
Yeah, and I actually think that I found that the 1-bedroom reef villa that I was in was one of the most spacious 1-bedroom rooms I think I've ever seen in the Maldives. It was amazing. So I don't think it feels like you'd be super cramped if you did want to have 2 children in there. You'd have
that's the great option that we have as well, so that, you know, you don't necessarily feel you're on top of each other or anything, with the 2 areas being separated plus the outdoor area. You know, you've got enough space for even 4 up to 5 people to be in there.
Perfect. Well, there's no more questions. I think either everyone knows a lot about Amilla already, or they learned everything they need to know from your presentation.
Maybe everyone's busy making that 15-room night, so
yes, exactly. Everyone's on the phone now calling their clients. Yeah. Well, yes, I'll keep an eye out on how the bookings come in the next couple of months, and good luck to everybody. I really hope that we get a winner for this amazing offer from Amilla. And yeah, if you have any questions after the webinar that you want to check with me, then please just send me an email at olivia@hummingbird.travel, and I can check with Fawaz. And yeah, just reminding that we always send out once a month a sort of update on our upcoming webinars and past recordings. And then we also always send out our webinar channel where we put all of our recordings in there. And yeah, in the next one of those emails, I'll also include the video at the beginning of the presentation and the presentation itself. But yeah, thank you so much, Fawaz, for joining us today and taking us through the amazing property that is Amilla, one of Hummingbird's favorites and always will be. So yeah, and fingers crossed for those bookings.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, thank you so much again. Thanks, Olivia, for organizing this. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Happy selling. If you need anything, you can reach out to Olivia through me as well. As I mentioned, we've got an application both on Android as well as iOS devices. It's just Amilla Maldives. A lot of information on there, and Olivia will be able to share our media link as well, which has got our presentation and photos and, you know, all the other bits and pieces as well. So thank you so much, and looking forward to welcoming your clients and hopefully meeting you in the Maldives when you win that voucher.
Amazing. Thanks so much again, and thank you everyone for joining us today, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.